welcome back to the training. By now, you have heard from our CEO, Sid C. Brandy, myself welcome you to the course, as well as another DIB team member. Let's talk now about a little bit about our journey in diversity, inclusion, and belonging. I will list out and talk about a few high-level things that have taken place since I was hired in April of 2019. But let's remember and understand that this all started as a core value that we call credit, collaboration, results, efficiency, formerly diversity and inclusion, now diversity, inclusion, and belonging, iteration, and transparency. Let me tell you a little bit about how we got to adding and belonging. One of the things that we did in 2019, 2020 was to think about and listen to what everyone was saying. So in 2020, we sent out a survey and we listened. And one of the things that we received back was creating a sense of belonging. So let's take a step even back further to understand what and how do we apply diversity, inclusion, and belonging here at GitLab. Diversity are the elements and the intersections that make us up of who we are, things that you cannot see, whether they're neurological experiences in life, or the things you can see, such as what we look like just visually. Inclusion is understanding all of the elements that make up who we are and still be invited to the party or have a seat at the table. Belonging is being able to feel safe, taking risk, and knowing that you're in an environment that you have trust that has consistent track record, that no matter if you show up as your full self, that you're still in a safe place. And also being able to be heard is a great piece of belonging. As I told you, I'll talk a little bit about high level of the things that we did since I was hired, and I'll also provide you with resources within the handbook that you can use and read at your leisure. One of the initial things that we did was publishing a mission statement. We had breakout sessions at one of our key events that we hold each year called Contribute that were related specifically to DIB. We conducted inclusive training and we conducted live learnings because as we understand, the way to really enable team members is to conduct training so that they really feel as if they understand what is going on. We also started to stand up TMRGs. You'll hear from several of those team members following this video. We aligned executive sponsors to those TMRGs because we understand that leadership, a role in that, is very important to the success of diversity, inclusion, and belonging. We also stood up a diversity, inclusion, and belonging advisory group, which is a global group of voices that is heard throughout GitLab. We created additional guidelines to support both of these so that the team members really and truly felt enabled to lead these initiatives. We also created a framework of several pieces to support what we're doing in the space of diversity, inclusion, and belonging. Those thinking about partnerships, sponsorships, marketing, recognition and rewards, metrics, which tells the story, recruiting efforts and what that looks like, the training I spoke of earlier, DIB and talent brand, and so many others, and comms as well. What are we saying externally and internally as it relates to diversity, inclusion, and belonging? We also, in addition to publishing the framework for diversity, inclusion, and belonging in 2019, we created communication channels internally, understanding that we work a lot on async, but having that key Slack channel that is devoted specifically to those particular diversity dimensions and the work being done so those members can have collaboration is key as well. We also received a comparably reward as it relates to diversity, inclusion, and belonging. In 2020, we conducted many more live trainings as it relates to diversity, inclusion, and belonging, as well as considered additional partnerships. We also received an additional reward for top CEOs of diversity and inclusion in 2020. We kicked off our Women in Sales mentoring pilot, as well as another mentoring pilot that you'll hear from one of our TMRGs. We created a parental toolkit for managers to leverage, understanding that different team members have different changes and needs for their lives. One of the things in key that are successful for a diversity inclusion program is understanding and having inclusive benefits everyone's life looks different. We had several fireside chats. We conducted conversations head on that were happening around the globe that impacted team members, because team members are important to us and to the success of the company. We kicked off a DIB speaker series, and we also added a new DIB team member at the end of 2020. In 2021, we're launching this course that's a self-paced training that can be used internally and or externally. We also, as you will take a look at the timeline, you'll see several other things that we're looking to do and learn more. Again, these are just some high-level things that we're looking for and that we have done in the past. Please take a minute and enjoy the rest of this video and the training and hearing from our TMRGs. Thank you so much.